So the goal of this example is for you to be able to just look at the different types of equations that we're going to be working with and just be able to come up with what name they are. You know, what type of name, what would you call them, how would you classify them? And usually what we do is we look at some, of the key elements that make it pretty easy for us to tell the type right away. And then we just have to look for those special parts for the other things. I mean, so for example, this first, if I look all the way down at F, you see these absolute value bars. So that makes it pretty clear that we're going to call that one the absolute value. So we're going to call that one there. We also see that over here we have a squared. Okay, well that we work with squares often. We've done a lot of that work. So that is a parabola. And so we're going to call that one a parabola there. We have a cubed right here instead of the squared. So squared versus cubed, that changes the type. So cube is a cubic. And so that's what we call and title that one. Let's see, we also have a square root symbol down here. And it's just a square root symbol. You look over here, we have square root as our title. So that's going to be what that one is down here. But you notice that you also have one that has a square root here, but the key feature is that there's a plus or minus in front of it. So the plus and the minus means it's not just a square root. We call that one a sleeping parabola, right? So when we call that a sleeping parabola, that's because of the plus or minus. It looks like a parabola laying down on its side. That's just the name that we use for it. We also have this x in the exponent. If you have a variable in the exponent, that means it is going to be an exponential. And we're left with two, a hyperbola and a circle. Circle is not a function, and you have these two different quantities squared. This is the only example that is not set equal to y, as you can see, and that is your circle equation, if you remember that from your geometry course. And then that leaves us with a hyperbola is the one that is a fraction. And that's always true. Your hyperbola is the one where your x is in the denominator. So that's how you can figure out the names for each of those key features of the exponents: exponential, square root, plus or minus, or absolute value, and a fraction.